I'm a 400-year-old witch wearing a Jessica Chobot skin suit, and we're talking about that crazy Melisandre moment on Nerdist News. I'm taking it off, man! I'm taking it off! Did you feel the winds of winter rushing in? Because Sunday night marked our hotly anticipated return to the world of ice and fire. That's right, Game of Thrones is back, y'all! Can we get something, though, a little more medieval? And while there was more murder than we knew what to do with, I'm looking at you, sand snakes, all we want to talk about is the magic. And the kind of magic we're talking about today is of the spoilery variety, so if you haven't seen the premiere yet, then what are you doing watching this video? I mean, I don't even get to pick the titles of these things, but I'm sure it's got something to do with the plot of the episode, so you've been warned. Anyway, here goes. Let's talk about the magic Melisandre is using to keep her skin looking as smooth as a Craster's baby's bottom, even though she's apparently a wizened old crone. While many assumed the season 6 premiere, the Red Woman would allude to her resurrection of Jon Snow, it actually turned out to be more of a red herring. The episode's final revelation that underneath her dress and fancy statement necklace, Melisandre is actually super old, had the whole internet wondering, what in the seven hells is this? Could Melisandre's magic be stronger than we think? Is she immortal or just really good at glamming herself up with that contouring Kardashian style? Does this mean R'hllor is a god that we should take much more seriously? And how does this track with the books now that the series has begun to deviate wildly from George R.R. Martin's source material? Really, we shouldn't be at all that surprised by this reveal. According to Vanity Fair's resident archmaester, Joanna Robinson, the cast and creators have long stated that Melisandre is at least 400 years old, with both the book and the show indicating that her fiery red ruby necklace is the source of her power. And as pointed out by Vox, A Dance with Dragons has an explanation on the different types of glamour magic, as Arya Stark is told mummers change their faces with artifice, and sorcerers use glamours, weaving light and shadow and desire to make illusions that trick the eye. At one point in the books, Melisandre does just that, creating a glamour to disguise Mance Rayder as the Lord of Bones. She does so using the man's bone armor, saying the strongest glamours are built of such things: a dead man's boots, a hank of hair, a bag of finger bones, or in her case, a fiery red ruby, mayhaps? Is there something dead inside that ruby? It's also noted that this magic doesn't change the user's body, just his appearance, and it takes a hell of a lot of work, which explains why Melisandre looks so exhausted once she deglamours herself at the end of last night's episode. But wait a second. If all it took was removing her necklace to reveal Melisandre's true form, wouldn't we have seen an old version of the Red Woman when she was naked in the tub talking to Selyse in season 4? Some fans who apparently immediately went back and watched that specific episode theorized that Selyse actually did see her true form, thanks to Melisandre's line about not needing to use tricks on true converts like Selyse. Yeah, either that or somebody from the crew done up, and I'm putting my money on that one. Melisandre's one and only POV chapter in Book 5 explains that R'hllor provided her with all the food she needed, but that was something best concealed from mortal men. And there's a fan theory, thanks to old Georgie Boy's Dunk and Egg story, that Melisandre is actually the bastard daughter of Brynden, the Blood Raven Rivers, otherwise known as the Three-Eyed Raven, being played by Max von Sydow, and Lady Shira Seastar, the last of King Aegon Targaryen IV's great bastards. Y'all, it looks like there may be secret Targaryens all over this piece. Anyway, all of which is to say, if she's been around this long, it looks like Melisandre could still play a major role in figuring out Jon Snow's history, but jury is still out on whether or not she'll resurrect the poor bastard, since Carice Van Houten herself denied that her character would be the one to do the deed in an interview with the Wall Street Journal way back in February. But of course, all of this is just speculation, and what showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss decide to do could stray far from what George R.R. Martin has planned, given that the duo have repeatedly stated that the show and the books are only going to continue to deviate wildly from one another. Still, given all the undead heading south towards the Wall, the rumored arrival of Lady Stoneheart, that joyous murder fest that is the Clegane Bowl, and the deeper dives into magic, history, and religion left to come this season, it feels safe to assume that the next few Sunday nights will be dark and full of further ruminations on what magic is, who has it, and how it rules the land of the living and the dead on Game of Thrones. But what do you guys think? Is Melisandre immortal? Are her powers strong enough to bring Jon Snow back from the dead? Could he come back to us as a new Night's King? Or are we all going to just be forced to deal with the fact that Jon Snow is dead for good and we just need to move on? Let's discuss. Step into the throne zone! I can't believe I just said that.
I believe it.
I know. Well, it was in the prompter. Check out All Kings Considered, our Game of Thrones after show, but it's more than that. It's like the CNN Fox News of Westeros. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. It's like Crossfire and Ice.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
And Dan, we've
That's
got
me.
a big old Hodor-sized week of stuff happening here at Nerdist, don't we?
Oh, you better believe it, Jess. We have a whole week of brand new shows for you guys. They're all gonna be live streaming. It's sort of like an open beta, meaning we want you to participate, not just in the shows because they're live, but we also want to get your feedback so we can improve them, make them the best possible end product. And all week long, we're launching 6 new shows, everything from a brand new video game podcast and vodcast called Save Point with Jess, to Alicia Lutz and Rachel Hine launching Fangirling on Friday. I'm very excited for that with special guests. Wait and see who they have in the pipeline.
Ooh, and you're actually kicking it off with your very own secret headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Secret headquarters. Are we even allowed to talk about that? I mean, it's pretty secret.
It is pretty secret, but I trust you guys. That's right. Today at 4 p.m. Pacific time, I'm launching Secret Headquarters, a brand new roundtable discussion show. We're gonna take a deep dive into pop culture, talking about TV, movies, comics, and beyond. And I have some awesome guests: Alicia Malone from Fandango, I have Christian Harloff from Collider, and I also have Ashley Escada from CNET's Tomorrow Daily. So stick around. Watch along with us live. We're gonna have a great time. And before we go, don't forget to celebrate Alien Day this LV426. If you want to win some sick Alien swag, get it on the Alien franchise Twitter account and play the Aliens Ultimate Trivia Challenge with some nerdy faces you just might recognize. Anyway, that's it for us. Game over, man. Game over.
Awesome. You guys can find out all of the details over at Nerdist.com.
I like that site.